Hello Valerie. Thank you for agreeing to an interview on Assistive Technologies, AT. Can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Valerie Cruz, a resource specialist at the San Diego School of Creative and Performing Arts, SCPA.
For my assignment, I was asked to research developments and changes to existing assistive technologies. Can you describe the policies for purchase, use, and management of these?
For a student with an individual education plan, IEP, there is a special factors section on the form. Under Section E, it asks whether the student requires AT devices and services. AT is for the majority of students where disability is not considered low incidence. For example, visually impaired, deaf and hard of hearing, blind, or orthopedically impaired. If the disability is low incident, then services, devices, and equipment come from a separate budget. Corey Straley is our district contact for obtaining all needed ATs.
Can you say a little more about the use and management of the assistive technologies?
Resource specialists like myself are trained in the use of ATs and work with our site tech in terms of compatibility and distribution to classroom teachers or for home use. Overall, the use of I-21 technologies in the classroom has reduced the need for older AT devices we used to require. For example, the Alpha Smart keyboards are no longer needed.
How are educators prepared to support the use of ATs in the classroom? I opted to attend a district iPad training for ATs, but it wasn't required.
As resource specialists, we do most of the training at SCPA. However, Corey Straley, our district contact I mentioned earlier, will come out if needed.
So, I have to ask, with the speed of new technologies emerging, are there new problems or challenges with AT services and devices?
Yes, several issues. First, many classrooms are still using Year 1 netbooks. These are slow and often crash. We also had a virus issue with books on tape for the netbooks. Second, since all classrooms have I-21 technologies, it is often assumed that teachers can meet AT needs because of the current technologies. For example, many rooms have iPads. I feel because of this, much of the responsibility is falling on the classroom teacher to learn about the AT services and devices needed to meet student needs.
In terms of low or high-tech use of ATs, how have these affected learning outcomes for students?
Let me start with high-tech use of ATs. Alternative communication devices such as text-to-speech, mouse alternatives such as touchpads, touchscreens, voice recognition, and built-in screen readers or magnification has drastically increased student achievement and has reduced the need for many low-tech ATs like separate reading and writing devices.
How about infrastructural elements such as network access or connection to printers? Have these resolved many of the issues or are new problems surfacing?
Since all rooms are wired with I-21 technologies, many issues have been resolved, at least with rooms with iPads or newer tablets. Reliable printer connections are still an issue.
There is additional funding to replace Year 1 older equipment to eliminate current netbook issues, but I agree with you about the need to maintain the technology and print issues.
Do you have any additional questions? I have a parent meeting.